Fit birds. Paul Childerley heads to North Wales to try to shoot pacey partridges off the Clwydian Hills.
Wales is such a beautiful place when it's sunny.
We launch our new raffle website with the help of the new face of Fieldsports Competitions, Steve McGuigan.
Watch out for my face on the programme over the next couple of weeks to tell you what's coming next as prizes. Not even I know, because our kid's out at the moment getting it.
Professional paddling. Anglers get together on the English south coast for the Saltwater Fly Fishing Festival 2024.
I own fly that one.
One you tied yourself?
Yeah.
Field tester this week is on Airgun moderators. David has the news on the Fieldsports News Stump, and James brings you the latest YouTube hunting films from this week's Hunting YouTube. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain.
Wales is such a beautiful place when it's sunny.
It could be a pre-shoot hacker with Paul busting some moves in this stunning Welsh countryside. It's actually in aid of getting our wounded soldier's shoulder warmed up in readiness for exocet partridges put on by James Davis Cook and his keeper Connor on the Gwasani shoot near Mould.
Partridges are the star of the show, pheasants muddled in, off heather, fell, gorse, bilberry, some fairly fierce banks, good days. Yeah, good crack, good people.
This is Paul's second trip to Gwasani, and to ensure a decent peg, he tries to ingratiate himself with the locals.
Come on, Wales!
It works, and at breakfast he draws peg 3. On a shoot of this quality, you're unlikely to be out of the shooting wherever you are. What is going to influence the number of birds coming down the line is the quality of the rest of the guns, so we could be in trouble. The first drive is one we've seen before. However, Paul, who is becoming well known for shooting a 410 these days, is shooting a 20-bore Rosini.
Check it out. Yeah, Rosini BR220, 20 gauge. So.
Is that because of your shoulder you've gone light?
We'll see. I haven't done my exercises yet. Oh, you may laugh, but oh God.
When's the last time you shot a 20 bore then?
4 years ago. I shot 20 ball for about 3-4 seasons. They might not get this back yet. This is only a lone gun, so it's after today.
There are a lot of birds intercepted by the Sparsholt Massive, James's mates from the Gamekeeping College, plus Welsh Olympic trap shooter Mark Potts.
We're on the end of the line, so we've got a guy who shoots trap or skeet for Wales, and Ben, he can shoot well. Game farmer Chappie, he can shoot really well, so any single birds.
They're not coming through, is that
No, they haven't got a good chance. Yeah, basically some good shots, yeah.
There is definitely a cocktail of guns in use here today, and maybe this is being echoed on other shoots around the country. Ben Hughes from Brimpsfield Park Estate in Gloucestershire has been using a 410, and the back gun on this drive is Dutch gun shop owner Jacob Conter. He is singing the praises of the bioammo shell that he's found for his old side-by-side.
The pellets are made a mixture of bismuth, zinc and pewter, and you can fire it in the old side-by-side or even in a tight choke, because the pellets are not as hard as steel, they are similar to lead. So you can use them in the old guns and shoot with tight chokes without a problem.
Yeah, okay. So you've had a season with these already?
I started in very early this year in Holland with geese shooting, with it. Just tried my side-by-side, which I shoot for 35 years now, and shot geese with it and was happy. Yeah. So it's a very good alternative to the, well, very expensive bismuth, and it's also a good solution for all the old guns.
Drive 2 and the guns are spaced out across a valley that acts like a natural partridge funnel. We get a bird's eye view of Mark Potts. He's had a successful year on the clays.
You know your way around a shotgun then?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Try and do as much as I can, yeah.
Tell me about your season.
I know it's been good, so I shoot Olympic trap for Wales. I had quite a good season this year, so I've won the Welsh Open and the Olympic Trap Home International senior trophies. So I've won all the senior trophies for Wales this year and the captain's trophy, so yeah, I've had quite a good season this year, it's been good.
Crikey, that's quite an achievement. When was the last time that was done?
1999 was the last time it was done with an old shooter called James Burke at Evans. So yeah, it's been a few years, but no, it's been a good achievement, so it's been a good season this year.
Any targets for next year at all for the clay shooting?
Yeah, so we'll go back onto the Welsh team, do the selections again, make the team hopefully again for the international, and work towards the Commonwealth Games if we can get it to happen. So just wait and see what happens with that really.
Back to the drive. Paul is having a blast and explains why a 20 bore is suiting him today and his plan B if the shoulder gives up.
Very enjoyable, very
Everyone
enjoyable.
got some shooting as well.
Totally, the full line got shooting and everyone was nice and selective, you know, shot the ones that are testing for them, and yeah, very good.
Very good. How's the gun holding up?
I love it actually, yeah. I think probably the biggest thing for me is not a big heavy long gun I've got to push around, because everyone say to me it's my left shoulder's a problem. They say, oh it's fine you shoot if you're right-handed. Actually your left hand does more of the work because it's moving. I've been in the gym doing quite a lot of this exercise, trying to get the muscle strength, because it's amazing. This does all the work, this just pulls the trigger.
If, for example, you had a tweak there,
Yeah.
could you shoot off your other shoulder?
Luckily for me, I trained myself when I was younger to shoot off both shoulders, but when I shoot off my left shoulder, I close my right eye. So I can actually do it, but I'm like aiming more, and you know, I can hold my own.
Is that just for giggles?
I think I just a challenge again. You know, when I was younger, I think I was a fair shot. When I was like 20, I was pretty hot, to be fair. And I used to do pigeon shooting in height. I used to shoot 25 off the right, 25 off the left. And as soon as I missed one, I'd go to the other side. Yeah, just stuff like that. You know, just to keep you.
Well, that could actually stand you in good stead if you have niggles.
Definitely, yeah. And the other thing with rifle shooting, sometimes you get something that's back. So if you're shooting at the truck window at Birmingham, you know, it's not perfect on the wing mirror every time. Something moves round to the back, stick to the left, and shoot him. So yeah, it's quite good to train yourself a little bit, I think.
He's getting cold, I think is what he said.
11's is delicious with plenty of game on the menu. A small snifter may be enjoyed while breathing in the Welsh weather, while it lasts. Ferrying us between drives is Ben Hughes. He has a sweet tooth and is keeping Paul's blood sugar levels in the red zone. He's someone else who enjoys watching and learning from other shoots he gets to visit.
Cherry, morning Dave.
It is great to see it because it's you will always learn something in this game, whether that's driving partridge or just where the flushing points are, and you try and work. You've probably heard it from Paul already today. You try and work out exactly what's going to happen in a drive before it even happens when you do stuff like we do. So I was trying to put the puzzle pieces together as I was stood on peg there, and then all of a sudden I had a massive covey of partridge above me and went, well, they did kind of what I thought they were going to. Now I had to pick one. So yeah, it was really, really good. Enjoyed my day.
Kept us fed with jelly tots and colour. So yeah, thank you for that.
That's not a problem. This car or anywhere, I mean, my kit bag isn't in here for the clays, but yeah, you only need to find me if you want Haribo.
The last drive was our monster first drive last year, so we know what to expect. Paul actually changed his shells for the occasion.
We're on steel, David.
Okay.
So we were on lead this morning on the first two drives, and then changed the chokes, and we're now on 28 gram 4s. Yes, 4s. Magnums.
Any particular reason?
Well, I thought we'd try them.
Okay.
Yeah. We obviously, on the shoot, we do a lot of duck days and have a lot of people come and they say they can't find anything good enough in steel and 20 gauge. So I got these, they're not cheap. 4-shot, 28 gram, hydro wads, give them a go.
Paul has enjoyed shooting the Rizzini and mentions he met the gentleman who bought the last Rizzinis we filmed him with on Frank Boddy's shoot.
We had a pair of Rizzini Regals, I believe, and that pair sold to somebody, and they come to see me at the British Shooting Show and said they got the guns that were actually on the show. Yeah, that were on that film. So yeah, it was great. He's got a story with those guns, so wherever he goes, he says, "Oh, these guns have been, shot and
Filmed by David Wright.
Filmed by David Wright. Yeah, never missed." And yeah, it's for me, it is a tool, but also, people do sort of like, they cherish their guns. The guys today, what we talked about the weather, but we talked about the guns a lot.
The drive delivers outstanding birds. Paul and the guns select the birds that they're comfortable shooting. There's something for everyone here.
Oh, yes.
There's stuff from 25, 30 yards up to 70, 80 yards. It's whatever you want to shoot at. It's such a fantastic sport for everybody to get into and do. We're very lucky to have what we have, and we should push for it as hard as we can.
As we pack up, Paul puts on a new Sentinel Swazi jacket. The people at Swazi want to cater for the UK market and feel this lightweight jacket is ideal for game shots who don't want to lug around a heavy coat.
My camera is not picking up the greenness of that, but it's like a pea green, isn't it?
Yeah, olive green, I think it's called.
Okay.
And Sentinel jacket, new lightweight jacket, obviously waterproof. For me, it's perfect for this sort of thing, game shooting. I personally wear it underneath a waistcoat. Looks quite smart. Obviously not warm, but you have your layers underneath, so you're looking smart for the shoot day still. But you've got the waterproof and a good wind resistant layer. Just easy to take with you rather than a big lumpy coat.
It's been a successful day on good quality Welsh partridges with some great shots. Thanks in part to the beautiful Rizzini 20-bore, Paul's shoulder is in one piece. If you'd like to buy this Rizzini, you better be quick, as there are already interested customers. To find out more about the Italian gunmaker, go to the website of its UK distributor, ASI. If you want to keep dry on your shoot this year, check out the new Swazi range from your local stockist. And if you want to book shooting at Grisani, you're probably looking at next season. Contact James via Grisani Sporting on Facebook or Guns on Pegs. Thank you, Paul, and all who took part in that. Now, what's in this week's Fieldsports Extra? A Dutch woman hunting in Asia, a happy angler,
Holy cow.
and our news editor makes a prediction about me.
He will pay me to go fishing, and I'll be very happy.
Most inaccurate. Plus, prizes next week are £150 worth of shooting lessons at the lovely Barbary Shooting School, which nestles in Wiltshire Downland and is, or should be, or at least any clay shooting school like it, an essential part of anyone's game season if they're thinking to themselves they haven't lifted a shotgun for a month or two and they have a nice pheasant or partridge day coming up. Link to Barbary's website below. Become a Fieldsports member, now with insurance covering public liability when you are out shooting and the all-important legal expenses. And watch Fieldsports Extra to find out how to enter our free competitions. Link to that below. Now, from improving accuracy to David on the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. A former government minister has called on one of Britain's most senior police officers to be removed from his post if he can't be impartial about trail hunting. After a weekend when hunts came together in dozens of locations across the UK to showcase their sport, former Defence Secretary Ben Wallace called on Devon and Cornwall's Matthew Longman to be removed from his position as lead officer on a national police body which is debating hunting. The Assistant Chief Constable has described trail hunting as a smokescreen for illegal hunting. The former minister said in a national newspaper report this week that if the policeman believes that to be true, he can't police without fear or favour. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Defence has caved to pressure from the Antis and is refusing to renew trail hunting licences on its land for the 2024-25 season. The government left it to the Hunt Saboteurs Association to announce the move after Antis made a Freedom of Information request to the MOD. At the well-attended trail hunting events, Hunt supporters called on the Labour government to support their community, their heritage and their hounds.
We hope that in the end they will be able to see how hard we have tried to keep the show on the road, this trail hunting, which is the most enormous fun. We had a big day yesterday with 5 hunts meeting in one place. Hundreds of people come to demonstrate what a wonderful time it was. They lay this trail, somebody goes off with a bit of rag and a string and it smells, they disappear. And then eventually the huntsman will lay the hounds on, and they'll hopefully pick up the scent, and away they go. And all the riders are following, and all people like us watching on foot, saying, "Oh, they've got that wrong, or they're over there." It's so sad that you can't get through to the spitefulness of the people that are against us.
Former Conservative MP Neil Parish believes his old select committee offers the only hope of making the government accountable over hot potatoes facing field sports in Westminster. Neil was chairman of the EFRA Select Committee from 2015 to his resignation in 2020 after he admitted looking at pornography. With its new chairman, Shetland Lib Dem MP Alistair Carmichael, Neil is hopeful EFRA can be a voice of reason in the House of Commons.
All these issues like trophy hunting, like shooting, everything will come through to this Labour government, and the whole idea of EFRA, the Environment, Food and Rural Affairs Select Committee, is to hold that government to account. And because it's not chaired by Labour, I think that is good. And I also think, like I said, he's Scottish, he's Liberal Democrat, but he's sound, and I think he'll do a good job.
A city council has banned chocolate biscuits. Yes, you heard that right. The new sheriffs of Nottingham have issued a ruling that Chocky Bickies are on their banned food list and can't be served to staff or councillors. It's not because they're bad for you, but because they're not vegan. The ban covers all meat and dairy products which are non-vegan. Even biscuits made with butter are on the list.
It's a puerile and draconian measure, which is unbecoming actually of a serious city authority. And we'd urge Nottingham City Council to scrap their proposed ban and actually talk to local farmers and work with them to secure and source sustainable British beef and other meat and dairy produce as well, like other councils across the country are doing.
Britain's competition clay shooters are at war with France. A row over official clay shooting disciplines has led to letters firing back and forth across the Channel. There are threats from France that it may ban British clay shots from official competition, preventing shooting grounds from hosting events, and even ban referees who officiate in the British version of its competitions. The French run clay shooting to FITASC rules, a traditional and technical version of the sport that's made shots such as multiple world champion George Digweed a household name. The Clay Pigeon Shooting Association wants to run events to super sporting rules. This is less technical and has become popular in the UK. Despite demands from the French, the CPSA is standing firm and has issued a statement robustly rejecting FITASC's demands. Firearms officers from 10 Scottish police forces have taken part in a training course with BASC. The course saw experts from BASC help to train 10 police officers currently working in firearms teams in Scotland. It's part of an initiative that will help educate newly appointed firearms officers over the next 18 months. A new scientific report has highlighted the positive role hunting plays in conservation. Experts from the International Council for Game and Wildlife Conservation examined the role hunting tourism plays in protecting habitats and conserving key big game species in Africa. It concludes that because many game species have a huge financial value to nations where hunting tourism takes place, many are elevated to higher standards of protection. You can read that report in full by clicking on the link below. London's gentlemen-only fly fishing club may accept women. In recent months, the men-only Garrick Club has agreed to accept women. Now, another bastion of the patriarchy is set to hold a vote by members on its future, following a chance remark at the Hay Festival by angler Marina Gibson, saying that she would like to join, but she can't. The Fly Fishers has been under pressure to change its gents-only rules. It currently allows women as guests. Marina explained her position to Charlie at the Carter Jonas Game Fair Theatre.
The downfall to the men who are members of the Fly Fishers Club who want it to stay men only is that it's a Fly Fishers Club. So in 1884 it was set up as a gentleman's club for fly fishers. And you know, in 2024, fly fishing is one of the most inclusive sports. It doesn't matter whether, I mean, it's still quite male dominated, but it doesn't matter where you're from, gender, sex, anything.
And you can watch or listen to the whole of that debate on our podcast this week, link below. Trophy hunting is big business in Texas and demands big prices. US hunting TV host Keith Warren is selling his 400-acre trophy hunting ranch, Texas Hidden Springs, for $6.5 million, about £5 million. The white-tailed deer expert has owned the place for nearly 30 years and is famous for offering some of the biggest trophy white-tailed bucks in Texas. The ranch offers a wide range of custom-built lodgings, all with kitchen, dining room and custom gun safes. American hunters pay up to $15,000 per animal. And finally, imagine you're paddling around the Dorset coast with your friend and this happens. The extraordinary picture was taken by wildlife photographer Rupert Kirkwood when he was out on a kayak adventure with his friend Will, who was in the red and yellow boat in the foreground. The two paddlers spent an amazing 3 hours watching tuna smashing into shoals of bait fish. He took time out from his holiday in Cornwall to explain to us what happened.
I just happened to come across them. I'm chasing shoals of small strap-like fish, which I think were a combination of Atlantic soweries and garfish, and sat there in awe and wonderment, enjoying the spectacular show for the best part of 3 hours. So I literally, while there were tuna jumping all around the place, just held my camera up. In fact, that photograph of the tuna behind the kayaker, I was just taking a picture of Will. I had no idea a tuna was going to appear. Just by sheer luck, as I took a picture of him, one popped up behind.
If you want to see more shots from Rupert's adventure, there's a link to his blog, The Lone Kayaker, below. You are up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David. And David asks everyone watching please to like and subscribe under this film. Thank you. Now let's talk Raffles. Fieldsports Channel has launched its own website for Raffles. And it has a new face for those Raffles, Steve McGuigan. Buy tickets and you could win. Here is the shiny-headed one to explain.
Hello, I'm Steve and I'm here to tell you all about Fieldsports Competitions. So our first ever competition prize is going to be the brand new Pulsar Telos. And to tell us all about it, about the Telos, is Tom from Thomas Jacks.
So I've got the new Telos LRF XL50. This is the one that Fieldsports are actually raffling off. This is the latest addition to the Pulsar brand. It features their new 1024 768 thermal sensor. Great features about the Telos is you've got your mag range on the front ring there. Whether you're right-handed or left-handed, you can move the hand strap over. It's a new style battery which is fast charging. All the Telos models now are fully upgradable. So say you buy the Telos as a non-LRF and in 6, 12, 18 months time, you think that's a good feature. Pulsar can fit that, as well as if you buy a lower spec sensor, you can upgrade it. So say you buy an XQ, you can then upgrade it to the XL, the all singing, all dancing. So head over to Fieldsports and you could win one.
So not only do we have a Pulsar Telos available, we've also got a day's pigeon shooting with the big fella, Dan Thor. Now you can go and spend a day in the hide with Dan and learn a few things, or you can do some pigeon shooting. So whether you're an experienced shot or you're new to the sport, Dan's the man to teach you. He's not quite as good as Crowy, but he's nearly there. Get yourself entered, spend the day with Dan and have a great time. He's a lovely, cracking fella.
Is there anything else available at that price, Steve?
Yeah, there's 500 quid worth of Jackpot clothing. So not only can you spend the day with Dan, you can dress up like him as well.
Well, what can I say? All camouflaged up, looking gorgeous as ever.
So we've got the Pulsar Telos, we've got a day's pigeon shooting with the lovely, wonderful, beautiful Dan Thor, and we've got 500 quid worth of Jackpot stuff. So if you want to get involved, and I advise you do, get yourselves over to fieldsportscompetitions.co.uk, get yourself involved, watch out for my face on the programme over the next couple of weeks to tell you what's coming next as prizes. Not even I know, because our kid's out at the moment getting it.
Thanks, Steve. And it really is that simple. Just go to fieldsportscompetitions.co.uk, take part, and once again, just like Fieldsports membership, you're helping to support our work, changing minds about field sports. Now, here is angling doing some good. Andy Ford goes to the Orvis Saltwater Fly Fishing Festival 2024 to find out how.
You know, the buzz at the start of the Orvis Saltwater Fly Fishing Festival every year is incredible. And this year, you can't quite believe it. There are now 140 people taking part in this event as we enter the 5th year of the festival. And this is why. Here we are at Hayling Island on a glorious sunny day, surf gently lapping, 3 days of fishing ahead of us. I can't wait to get started. And nor can the others taking part in a competition that's become one of the highlights of the annual fly fishing calendar.
It's fantastic. There's a lot of people here, more grounds, found some new grounds to fish. It's been really exciting, so I'm quite excited about it, to be honest.
It's all friends, isn't it? You know, it's close friends.
This is part of the reason we come every year, and it's not for the fishing, it's for this social element.
So I'm very much a beginner in saltwater. I've done a bit of freshwater fly fishing.
I've got a lot better since I first started, considering it was my first time I cast a fly and I was at this competition. Yeah, it's going all right. We're doing well.
This is a competition, of course, with prizes for those who catch the largest bass, mullet and other species. But primarily this event fuels a community of anglers who've been getting together to explore the south coast with a fly rod for the past 5 years. There's 25 miles of coastline to cover, with the variety provided by open beaches and tidal estuaries on the competition map. One of the things about the festival this year is that the fishing grounds have expanded massively. So we've gone all the way to Warsash, which is about 15 or 20 miles that way, and in that direction all the way to Bognor Regis. 25 miles of water to cover with 140 odd anglers spread far and wide. The event's grown to include a youth section this year too. Here's England junior fly angler Harry Sharratt showing the grown-ups how it's done, landing a 35 centimetre bass from the beach at Hayling Island on a fly he tied himself.
I cast it out as far as I can in the current and I just slowly give it long strips and it took my own fly, that one.
One you tied yourself?
Yeah.
Lives for it, loves this fishing. It doesn't matter whether it's trout, pike, carp, he catches carp on the fly as well. So, you know, this is just another tick in the box for him, he wanted to do it. So.
In addition, this year's festival's also playing host to Shane Davis, a school teacher who's using angling as a tool to help engage young people who struggle in mainstream education. Shane has found fly fishing has transformed the lives of some of the children he teaches.
You know, it mends souls. Fishing mends souls. You know, if you're experiencing a difficult time in your life and you go fishing, you're thinking about the fishing, you're not thinking about the difficult bit. And it's the same for these young people, and it's the same for all young people. For me, as a practitioner, I can direct a young person to engage them in a classroom environment as a consequence of doing this. We can use measuring fish as a way to do maths. We can use writing a logbook of what you've caught as a way of doing English. And if we can, you know, if we could bottle it, it'd be amazing.
Fishing in saltwater using fly tactics can be frustrating, but when it goes well, it brings big smiles. Here's Tom Lambert with a bass that clearly deserves a cuddle. There are plenty of other fish landed too. So the main target species are bass and mullet, although there is a prize for the most different species like mackerel or flounder caught on the fly. For bass, anything over 40 centimetres is considered a cracker. The festival has been won with a fish over 70 centimetres before though. Any mullet, the ultimate fly fishing enigma of course, is a miracle. Last year the mullet prize was won with a fish over 50 centimetres. Everything's measured, then pictures are sent in to event headquarters on WhatsApp. They're verified before being added to the ever-changing leaderboard. This is a catch and release competition, so everything goes back to fight another day. On the subject of new adventures, how about fly fishing from a beach in the dark? This is the Yeti-sponsored night station, set up to allow anglers the chance to try and catch bass when they go on the feed as darkness falls. The fish, sadly, aren't in the mood this evening. In their place, there's friendship, a cold beer and a warm fire. All anglers here are united by the common ground they tread, casting flies in the salt. It's also a place to learn and exchange information. Pete Kutzer's an Orvis guide in the USA who's made the trip over for the first time. His casting videos on YouTube are the stuff of legend, with millions of views of the tips he gives.
One thing that I still do to this day, and it's something, you know, a great piece of advice for anybody who's getting into fly casting and wants to get their cast to be a little bit better, is notice when I'm casting, I still watch my back cast.
Yeah, you do.
I watch my back cast all the time, you know, so I can see when that line goes straight, and then I know when I can make that forward cast. And it's almost become a habit now that I can't make a cast without watching my back cast.
While the social side of the festival is clearly all important, let's not forget there are prizes to be won. Steve Richards has claimed the bass prize before. This year he's caught both the biggest bass and also the biggest mullet.
It was luck. I literally stuck it in front of one, it hit it, and that's it.
That's all you need though, isn't it?
That is all you need. Just need a bit of luck, don't you? So it was just pure luck, you know. Stick a fly in front of it, wants to eat it, thank you very much.
The rules prevent Steve from a clean sweep, so he's decided he'll take the bass prize and leave the mullet award for someone else. That's Tom Barkley, who somehow managed to tempt a 50-centimetre mullet to grab a bass fly at 6 a.m. on the second day of the festival. So another Saltwater festival is done and dusted, and I think the theme of this weekend has been very clear to me. The community that's grown around this incredible event over the last 5 years continues to get even stronger. People come, they learn stuff, and they pass it on to others. To me, that's what fly fishing is all about. What a brilliant event, and we'll see them again next year.
Thanks all who took part in that. Now, Airgun moderators. James Head from Devon and online airgun shop Crackshot says what he recommends. Why do people buy moderators? What's the point?
Definitely for garden shooting, if they are worried that their neighbours are going to get a little bit upset or irritated with the noise of a gun going off, or you're shooting on a range like here. Sometimes a really loud gun going off all the time can drone and it can sort of irritate the man next to you. So it's a little bit of courtesy, and like you say, not everyone wants to. You don't want everyone to know what you're doing sometimes.
Can you explain the difference between a moderator, a suppressor, and a silencer?
They're all the same thing. It's just different names for them. So they don't fully silence the noise, which is why some people say, well, it's not a silencer, it's a moderator, because it moderates the noise, or it suppresses the noise, but it doesn't silence it. But they're all the same thing. They do the same job. It's just that the different terminology people use. They do change in pitch, the tone, and just the depth of the noise will change in different mods. So the cheapest, you're looking around the £45 mark, which is actually really, really good for what they are. And the most expensive we've got here currently is this. It's a Donny FL Fat Boy. So that starts at 188 just for this little piece here, and you can get extensions to add on to that. So I think once people add on the big extension at the rear that makes most of the difference, you're looking around a £250 mark.
For more about the range of moderators from Crackshot, go to crackshot.uk. Thanks, James. Next, from kit to the wider world of hunting and shooting on YouTube, brought to you by James Martington, it's Hunting YouTube.
This is Hunting YouTube, which aims to show the latest and best hunting and shooting videos that YouTube has to offer. Here's what I've picked for you this time. First this week, here's a gripping tale of crocodile hunting in the Australian outback from the Black As boys. Just getting there is as much an adventure as the hunting itself. David Ellis is facing a different sort of danger in the States as he sets off to hunt a big wild boar with thermal, and on the way encounters a huge rattlesnake. Meanwhile, in the UK, Thomas and Ernie from the Boar Club are out with a brand new rifle, waiting up for a massive boar they need to cull in the forest of Dean. Here's a lovely film from Pedro Ampuero, setting out on horseback for a week-long hunt after red stags at the peak of the Rut in the Andes Mountains in Argentina. Back to the UK, and with the game season well and truly underway, here's Rob Speed on an action-packed partridge day in Dorset. The shooting is all the more impressive when you realise he's using a 410. Duck shooting has started too, of course, and here's the Wintercombe Gundog team back at work after the close season, picking up on a 2-day driven duck shoot. Rabbit control service Rabbit Express is ferreting in Cumbria bolting rabbits to the dogs, and young Moss is learning his trade from the more experienced Suki. And finally this week, here's a lovely old film from Derry Argue. It shows how 25 years ago, when it was still legal, he trained a wild-caught sparrowhawk for falconry. That's it for this week. I've put all these films into a playlist for you. Click on the eye symbol top right or check this film's description. If you have a YouTube film you'd like us to pop into the weekly top 8, email me the link, jamesm@fieldsportschannel.tv.
And that's it for this week. If you haven't done so already, please whiz over to our website, fieldsportschannel.tv. You can click to like us there on Facebook and on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, pop your email address into our register page and we'll contact you about this show. Fieldsports Britain, it's at 7 p.m. UK time every Wednesday. And this has been Fieldsports Britain. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.